Hi guys, and welcome back to Nail on Sunday podcast with me, your fabulous host Chris, and my beautiful co-host, who I missed the first time in this intro, Becca.
Hi.
Hey baby.
Oh God, I'm going to stop reacting to it and you'll stop doing it, hopefully.
Sure. What's coming up in this week's show?
So this week we are talking about October and November, the quiet months, and why you shouldn't worry.
So, do you want to give everyone a rundown at home what we've been up to the last week or so?
Just work, as always. We do have some new launches. So this podcast will be going out on Sunday. And then Sunday night, we have a live on Instagram talking about our new launches.
Sunday at 7, right?
7 p.m. on Instagram.
Okay. And there might or might not be sneak peeks around the studio because that's...
This is Chris's great idea. He just wants to put sneak peek products all around.
One day we'll be sponsored by Nail Order. One day.
We can only dream.
Can only dream. And one day we'll make it to Wondery Plus.
Oh, yeah.
And AG1.
I think we're going to need more than 35 subscribers for that, though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Talking of which, we are going to be doing a competition coming up soon.
Wow.
So if you are interested in possibly winning that competition, you're going to definitely need to be a subscriber of this podcast. So click that subscribe button right now.
Yes. And follow us on TikTok, which should be appearing in front of you right now.
Sorry, when I say subscribe now, I am talking specifically about YouTube. I've just realised that some people will be listening not on YouTube.
And those people are subscribed. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. If you want to drop down and give us 5 stars, I'd appreciate it. Okay, what else? So we've got new launches. Do you want to tell them personal stuff or no? We're not going to leave personal stuff for the pod.
Sure, we can talk about personal stuff.
Okay, where did we go last week?
We went down to a specialist referral veterinary centre.
Why?
For Mr. Dakota.
The puppy that we adopted from America, that we thought, this is going to be a great idea. The most expensive puppy in the whole entire world.
Most expensive puppy in the world. Not only the cost to buy him, the cost to get him here, and now the cost of his new hip. I think we should start a GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe for Daki.
For Daki.
DakFundMe.
DakFundMe. Poor boy. He's got hip dysplasia, but not only that, he's got another condition which restricts the blood flow to the femoral head of his hip joint, and it cuts off the blood supply, meaning that the bone is dying. So he needs a full hip replacement.
I could only think of doing that to segues into it.
So, yes. Scary times, and he will be getting that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, which is not ideal because we're coming up to Black Friday weekend, which is our busiest time, so it takes us pretty much out of the game because we'll be packing hopefully for 10 to 14 days straight. So Mr. Dakota is going to need care and attention from pretty much everyone around us. So, yeah.
Poor boy.
Coming up on the next couple podcasts, something that I want to just pitch to you just now, may as well do it. And if you guys like it, maybe drop down and give us some comments. One we're going to do is affiliates and ambassadors.
It's going to be about brand ambassadors in the nail industry.
So we'd love to know your take on it. So the best way you can hit us up for that is if you go to Chris and Becca TikTok and Chris and Becca Instagram. And if you've got any comments,
We have an Instagram.
We do now.
Right,
Because
but why?
I'll tell you why. Because it's super easy for people to leave us voice notes, and if they leave us voice notes, I can put it into my roadcaster and I can play it.
Okay, so we're not actually advertising or using this Instagram. It's solely for an inbox.
Pretty much. I don't want to give out my mobile number.
So it's solely for a voice note inbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have been a brand ambassador yourself and you have positive or negative experiences that you would like to share, then so what is the handle for this?
Chris and the word and Becca, Bekka. That's it.
That's it, Chris and Becca.
Chris and Becca.
Right, okay, cool.
Just like
I don't even know the login for this guy, so I'm never going to
Yeah.
see these. But
So, thanks if you've already started following us.
you can't do voice notes on TikTok.
No, I don't think you can. I don't know. Again, TikTok's not my forte.
I mean, if you can, then send them there. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
so give us your thoughts and opinions, and we'll certainly play them out on the podcast. And one I want to get into in November, a pod what I would like to get into in November is preparation for Black Friday weekend. Things to do and things not to do.
Yeah, we can wrap that into the most economical way to buy as a salon owner or nail technician, self-employed nail technician.
Yeah. And there's lots of tips and tricks that we've done over the years.
Exactly.
And the thing is, when Rebecca and I first started our salon, Black Friday wasn't a thing in the UK. Definitely wasn't in the States, but not in the UK. 2014, 2015 is when it kind of came around, and that's when we started to take advantage of it. All right. But let's get into today's show. But before we do, the sponsor of this... No, there's no sponsor. Not yet.
You can't do this every week.
Oh, okay. Okay, so today we're going to talk about being quiet before Christmas. And the reason I brought this up as a suggestion for the podcast is on most nail tech forums right now, there is people freaking out. And I want to preface this by saying that I've seen a variety of people from new starts in terms of they're newly qualified. They have some people have went solo newly. Some people have been in a salon for a long time, and some people have been in the industry for such a long time, and they're really, really feeling the pinch this year. I was going to say the punch this year. The pinch this year. So, being a salon owner and being the erotic?
Jesus.
Being a salon owner and being the neurotic Rebecca that I know.
Okay, yes.
I've seen, and there will be a lot of other people who can test to this.
Yes.
Come October, even say it kind of starts September, but really October, November, you can feel.
It's that 6-week period, the beginning of October, halfway through November, before those Christmas parties start, and it would happen every single year. And Jennifer, who's our training coordinator here at Nail Order, but she was also our salon manager at our salon. She'll be able to attest to this. I would be like, that's it. We're done. Nobody likes us anymore. Something's obviously happened. The customers are never coming back. And that would be me freaking out every single year. And she would have to bring me back down to earth and be like, Rebecca, this happens every year. It's totally normal. And it is totally normal. So if this is your first time round, maybe you're a new nail technician, it is normal. Do not freak out. We're going to talk about things that you can be doing in this time to prepare yourself for the busy period coming up.
So do you think it changes from year to year?
Yeah, it definitely changes from year to year. And it probably has a lot to do with like the economy and all of that type of thing as well, and how much people are feeling the pinch. Because essentially what you're experiencing at this time is people becoming hyper aware of the impending doom that is Christmas, less than 100 days away. People are manically starting to save, starting to get things in place, and they're starting to go, do you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice that one appointment or maybe even 2 appointments before the Christmas period, because during the Christmas period, they maybe have lots of social functions and they are not only wanting their routine nail appointment, but this time they're also going to get some lashes or they're going to get a blow dry. They might even invest in getting their makeup done. So as extra expense than what they would usually be getting.
I would say here in the UK, and we'll generalise this as the UK, I'd say September, what you notice is the nights draw in, the weather gets a bit rubbish.
The end of September.
And that's when, especially people in the UK, we start to freak out. We start to think to ourselves, oh my gosh, winter is here. Christmas is coming. There is certain things happening. I would say it's maybe different in different parts of the world, but for here
Definitely.
in the UK, that's when I always notice a trend of downward travel.
Well, think about it this way, right? If you take Florida compared to the UK, so say the end of September, kids are back at school, nobody's taking holidays anymore. Well, some people are going on holiday, but for the most part, people's holidays are done. Your legs are now covered, so you're not leaving your legs waxed. Your toes are not out, they're not in sandals, they're in boots. So there's all of these things that you're thinking, well, I don't need that anymore. But yes, they'll get that extra appointment at Christmas because they've got parties to go to. They're going to have their legs out and their heels on and stuff like that. So that is definitely part to do with it. But obviously just for nail techs who only offer maybe nails on hands, there's still the effect of they have that period where they don't really have anything going on. They don't have their holidays to look forward to. They don't have any social events on. And as I said, that financial burden, of Christmas is very much on the horizon and looming.
Yeah, I would say that. I think as soon as summer is done, people's focus switches to...
Oh, completely.
I don't really think a lot of people focus on autumn or fall as being a season. It really just switches from now, summer, to Christmas.
Well, you see it in the supermarket, don't you, when you're walking around? As soon as the kids go back to school, the Christmas bits and bobs start to trickle in.
Yeah. So here in the UK, in October, we have an October week, essentially, which is a week's holiday.
Well, it's different all over the UK, but there is holidays in the whole of the UK, yes,
yeah.
in October.
I'm just comparing it to other places. I mean, most of our listeners come from the US.
Really?
No, it's a lie, but they could do. So we have a week's holiday here. Now, I always put that into context of, in the summer, you have holidays or vacation time. So do a lot of people go away on vacation here or holiday here in that October week?
Not as many as would go away in the summer, I would say.
That's a bit of a difference. I think in Easter time, a lot of people go away. In summertime, a lot of people go away. And then when it comes to October, a lot of people don't go away. So they don't get the same treatments they would normally do in the summer. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. And it is hard and you do forget, and it'll happen every year, and it is totally normal and nothing has happened. Your customers still love you. They are just planning for that festive period. But there are things that we can do during this period to either busy yourself up or, probably more importantly, prepare for that festive rush.
Okay, so let's get into it. How do you prepare for this time, or should you prepare for this quiet time?
I wouldn't say, well, I mean, maybe you might need to financially budget a little bit for the quiet time in terms of like October and the first part of November. So you might want to put some money aside if you are a self-employed nail technician to cover things. The other thing that you could do to try and busy yourself up is you could run some offers. Some people don't like to do that, I know, but it is something that we always like to do in the salon. I would rather have 10 people coming in at a lower price than one person coming in at a high price. And we like to keep busy.
So would you say it differs from a salon to, say, a single solo nail tech?
I mean, yes and no, Chris's favourite saying. Obviously, if you are in a salon where there is lots of treatments on offer, say you're a salon owner listing right now and you have lots of treatments on offer, you do have a lot more scope to do bundles, do deals, things like that. And obviously there's a lot of different treatments that you can offer discounts on. Where if you are a self-employed nail technician and you only do nails, you are a little bit more restricted because your customer, if they're not coming in, if they're sacrificing that appointment to wait until their festive appointment, then there's probably not much you can do to get them through the door. And I have to say, this does even affect nail technicians who are booked weeks or months in advance. You might be a nail technician who has closed your books, who is booked months in advance, and then you're looking at your November diary and you're going, oh my God, what is going on? It's because your regular customers are willing to sacrifice that one appointment to jump to their Christmas appointment.
Do you think offering discounts cheapens you as a person or a brand? For these quieter times, I mean.
I don't think it does, because at the end of the day, every business does discounts.
Sales of some
Sales at some sort. And they do it at particular times. Maybe this should be the time that nail techs are going to do sales if they are going to do them. It could also be a chance to try and advertise for some new customers as well.
Yeah.
And I think there's a way that you can word it as well. You can pitch it as you are wanting to try a new technique, you want to try a new product, you are wanting to try a new nail art design.
Any one of our multiple launches that we've done recently, you could get on board.
Get on board with that. Try that out. So what else I would say about October, November, if it's particularly quiet, great time to upskill.
You've gone too fast. That was going to be mine. Oh gosh.
Maybe look at this time and pre-plan for it in the future and go, right, that's when I'm going to upskill. That's when I'm going to do some of my training courses. So you can book those courses when you have good money coming in throughout the summer. People are getting all their treatments done for their holidays. Book the course then. Use that time to upskill, and then come the busy period, you are ready to put those skills to use.
What sort of things would you do in this time that is easily transferable in terms of you learn the skill, it's easier to relatively quickly master, that you could implement it with confidence come end of November?
I would say nail art workshops is probably a really, really good thing to do, because obviously at Christmas time, people want so much more nail art. So maybe nail art workshops and nail art courses, they're a good thing to do that you could implement very, very easily without you're worried about retention or anything like that. It's not a whole new service. It's just some upskilling nail art. That would be something really good. If you are a confident builder tech, maybe a hard gel, if that's something you're interested in. If you think that you've got clients who would come in as models for you, so you can get, say, 10 sets under your belt before that Christmas rush, that is something else that you could do. You don't want to be going probably into a brand new... Well, I mean, maybe you do want to go into brand new things, but not necessarily implement it before the Christmas rush. So you could do your training in October, do a few models and stuff, and then concentrate more on it in the January period.
That's really what I was kind of leading on to there. If, for instance, you were going into, say, full cover tips, for example, something you wanted to do, during this time, if you trained at the start of October and you had some offers on for this new treatment you're doing throughout the rest of October, and you could get, say, 10 people under your belt, that way you can confidently, as long as these people have retained their nails over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks or whatever, so the skills you've learned are well represented. You could introduce that as a new treatment in January when it becomes quieter again.
And you could run offers on that again.
Correct.
So it's something new and interesting.
It's
for your
not
clients.
cheapening the brand. It's people understand that you're upskilling. Mm-hmm. People get behind that and they want to take advantage of some of these new offers. A lot of these people might be looking at full cover tips and thinking, I've been dying to try them for ages, but my nail tech doesn't offer them. And now that you're offering them, just for example, at a cheaper rate, people jump on board with that.
Exactly.
People will get on board.
And that definitely doesn't cheapen the brand. That is, people see that as, okay, models for upskilling and stuff. That is, par for the course, really.
Yeah. So is there any period for the rest of the year? We'll come back to October real quick. But is there any other period of the rest of the year where you become super busy and where maybe you should start to think about saving some of that money for times like October?
Well, I mean, obviously December is incredibly busy, isn't it? But then your summer can be really busy as well. I guess it sort of ebbs and flows. It's going to be different for every nail technician based on their client base. It's hard to say, like from my personal experience with the salon, obviously December was mental, but we could get really busy Januaries as well, which was always really kind of surprising. But then I guess people have Christmas money. They may be willing a bit more to treat themselves. Maybe they're feeling a bit depressed because it's January. But yeah, summertime was always busy because people are getting their toes done as well. Nails, toes, they want their lashes done, their waxing done and stuff if you're in a salon. But I do think if you don't offer toes, actually, this is quite interesting. A lot of nail technicians do not offer toes. Why? And okay, feet are not the greatest.
Wait, you hated doing toes?
I didn't hate doing toes. No.
I'm pretty sure if someone was picked up for your toes, you were like, oh, God.
No, never hated doing toes. That was the first thing I started, remember? Rockstar toes.
Oh, gosh.
See? And Minx
Yeah.
toes. That would blast from the past right there. That's how I actually got into nails, was doing toes.
Okay, I take it back.
Because Chris and I's very first business was Fish Pedicure Company, and obviously that is feet. And we were based in a nail salon, and they weren't really...
They were just...
they
There was
weren't-
one guy.
And what, they did toes?
One guy that only did the acrylic. Everyone prepped and everyone...
Oh, yeah.
That was a
But no,
weird
they didn't
setup.
do toes at all, as far as I remember.
No.
So I was like, well, that's a really good add-on to the Fish Pedicure thing. And then I got into the whole rock style, like the pure glitter toes and minx toes.
Yeah.
And that was my first foray into nails.
That's very true.
So there you go.
And you did that before Christmas?
Yep. Yes.
That was the run-up to Christmas?
Yeah, it was. And then it became really, really popular. And then people were like, oh, I'd love that rock star on my nails. And then that's how I got onto fingernails.
Okay.
So there you go.
So what I was leading on to there is October. If you imagine that that's a period where you are going to be quieter, so you should maybe start to foreplan that, maybe early in the year, maybe book like training courses. One thing that I always think about in October is going away.
Yes, great idea.
If you're quiet anyway, it's a great time to go away.
What I would say is, I think that's a really, really great point. And what I'm going to say first is, when you become self-employed, it's fantastic. You have so many more freedoms, but there are certain sacrifices you have to make. And if you want to maximize your business, if that is your aim, some people's aim is just to have a better work-life balance and be able to work it around their family. That is different. But if you are wanting to maximize your business, then you will need to understand that there are certain sacrifices that you have to make. And one of those sacrifices is maybe not going on holiday when everybody else is going on holiday, and maybe working when everybody else is off. So for instance, working on weekends.
Evenings, weekends.
Or a Saturday or whatever.
Yeah.
And not going on holiday when everybody else is going. So don't go on holiday throughout the summer. Use that time to maximize all of your earnings, and then go on holiday when everybody else isn't going on holiday. And you have a quiet time. I think that is important. I know in this day and age, everybody is looking for that better work-life balance, but for a lot of people, they are trying to maximize their business for various reasons. Maybe they're trying to buy a house, or there's certain things that they are aiming towards and wanting to better their life with. So yeah.
I would say I spoke to a couple of girls who work for us recently who are professional nail techs as well as working with us, and they maximise their time in the salon in a way that I don't think would have been possible for these types of girls. For instance, Karina, who works with us, she's working till 9, 10 at night after working here.
Yeah, she'll do
If
it.
she's paying for a chair, a desk.
I really like her idea. It's very
So
clever.
good.
So she pays a daily rate. It doesn't matter if she starts at 12 and finishes at 2, or starts at 8 and finishes at 10 p.m. So she's like, well, if I've paid for that day, I'm going to maximize it. So that is what she does. She does 12 plus hour days, maximizing it as much as possible. And I think that is really, really smart.
And that way she can get days off. But also, she works now for us, 3 days?
Two, sometimes 3.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I think it's really, really clever. Personally, I would rather be in, again, 1 long day than 3 short days. As painful as that 1 long day is at the time, it's still less painful than having to go in 3 times.
I think there's a bit of a trade-off and a sacrifice. For instance, Karina is saving for a house and a wedding and stuff like that. So she's putting in the graft just now. In 10, 15 years' time, maybe when she has kids and a family, that work-life balance may change.
Yes, exactly.
So when we were saying that sometimes that you have to sacrifice things, this is some of the reasons you have to sacrifice it. Like Rebecca and I are currently doing 7 days.
Yeah.
And we're sacrificing it just now because we know the payoff is going to be fine in maybe 2 or 3 years. I know you wanted to say 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, honey, but it's never going to be that.
I know.
Like we have to come in here and record on a Saturday. This is how up to date it is.
Yeah, but that's not all we're doing for work today. So.
No. But it's just because it's really the only time we've got,
I know.
especially with like new launches coming. We launch products on a Sunday night, you know, it's a bit of sacrifice, but we know that maybe one day we'll go on holiday.
But we also really enjoy working. So
we ultimately
we
love
we
working.
do ultimately love it. It's not that much of a sacrifice when you love it, I guess.
I really enjoy these pods. Enjoy editing them. I just enjoy just having like chill out time with you. I just feel it's like just us and just like we have some friends, just like, I don't know.
Like 35 friends on YouTube. It's great.
Subscribe.
So what else can you do in this time if you are not going on holiday and you've got the downtime? Plan for Christmas. So what we always did in October, we opened our Christmas diary. Now, what I will say, I don't know what it's like now because we've not had the salon for
2 years.
Anyway, so I don't know what it's like these days, but when we first started our salon, we would open the Christmas diary in October and it would fill up pretty much instantly. We would offer certain packages because we were a salon that offered a variety of treatments, so to ensure all the staff were, busy. We would offer packages. I don't know if I would do that again, to be honest. Now I'm like, that's so silly because people are going to book stuff anyway.
No, I think we did it in the right way where it's like, you get this, you get this, you get this. That's the price. And if you want to add on, say, a spray tan for an extra like £8, they're in the place anyway. It's only a spray tan.
This is it. You do need to think they are there anyway. So we would open up the Christmas diary in October and it would fill really fast. What I will say is that the more years went on, that would be slower and slower and people would be so much more last minute. And I do think people are much more last minute these days. And I do appreciate that. So you can be quiet in October and then you can open the diary, then nothing happens and you're really, really scared because you're like, oh my God, everybody hates me. But again, it's just the way that people are these days. But you want to plan ahead for Christmas. If you are a salon owner, Jen, if you are listening, so Jen took over our salon after we left. And Jennifer, if you are listening, so Jennifer, our training coordinator, ex-salon manager, she is shocked by this as well, that Jen allows them to have days off during the Christmas week.
What? We need to go into I was going to talk about the Christmas. You said the Christmas diary or the Christmas diary time. I was going to speak about rotas in a second.
Well, that's what I'm alluding to here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would just be
This is what we're talking about sacrifice.
This is sacrifice.
The staff had to sacrifice all the way out.
No, it absolutely was not like that. But it was just like a general. Everybody, we just did it, but we also made it fun because we would, get breakfast and food and, whatever. And there was always treats going around. And it was just something that we all came together with because we were all going through it. And then the staff would get time off at the other side. Maximize that time. It comes around once a year only. This is far more so if you are a salon owner rather than a self-employed nail tech, because a lot of people, if you're a self-employed nail tech, you maybe close your diary, so you only have that set amount of clients to do every month. So it's kind of no different from month to month. But I would also, even if you close your diary, I would recommend opening it up for that period. Why not maximize your earnings for that short period?
If people are willing to spend, take it.
That's it. Because what you're not looking for, I totally understand, is a regular client because you don't have time to take on any more regular clients. But what you are looking for is those people who just get it done for Christmas. There's a lot of people out there who just get their nails done for their Christmas parties, Christmas nights out, New Year. It covers a long period of festivities. So why not open your diary for that period, maximize your earnings, and you've got a little extra in your pocket.
So describe what a typical rota would look like in I was going to say the name. Can I say the name of our salon?
No, let's not say the name.
Okay. What would it look like in the 7 days before Christmas?
Okay, so usually we would start, this rota would start approximately the 16th, would be the day that the Christmas rota.
December 16th.
Yes. So then we would have 16th through the 24th. We would be open every day. We were a salon that was open 7 days anyway, but we would have longer opening hours.
Even like on a Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, longer opening hours. And And usually within this period, so that would be 16th through 24th. So that's
10 days.
9 days, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 9 days.
Quick math.
We would usually rotate it so each staff member would have 1 day off.
Yes.
I think.
If they chose.
If they chose. And it certainly would not be the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Not those days.
No.
Not those. And a lot of you guys might be listening thinking, oh my God, you guys are like slave drivers. It wasn't like that. It was just like an understanding that we all had. We like to think anyway, that we're very good to our staff and we try our very best anyway. But obviously that was extra money for them as well.
We'll go into the money.
And a lot of them are mums who are spending a huge amount of money for Christmas. So they would have that extra money in their pocket as well at the end of the day.
I think around about that time, what you have is, say for instance, you are a mum, you live with your partner. That partner may finish up work a couple of days early.
Yeah.
So they're off anyway, they've got the kids. So why would you not take advantage of that? And we'll go into the other side in a second. But one thing I just want to highlight there, you said about treats, breakfast and stuff like that. Yes, we would do like a breakfast on the Christmas Eve morning, which was magical in our salon.
It was a magical day. We did a whole thing.
We did a fireplace and stuff like that.
And we did stockings and presents and it was wonderful anyway.
Yeah, it was such an enjoyable time and everyone looked forward to it. I'm
Everybody
so
looked forward
glad everyone took part in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, treats. Like customers would bring in boxes of treats.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know they do that so much less these days? It's unbelievable.
It's just
I know, it's just
in this
economy.
economy?
In
Do you
this
know what I
economy, I
mean?
know. But yeah, treats.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was always like candy going around for everyone. But tips. A lot of salons are like up and down about tips. In our salon, I think we were probably at the more generous scale where we would always give staff full tips and it could potentially go through the card machine, which I know a lot of people don't do.
So yeah, we let our tips go through the card machine and we gave the staff all of it. We didn't take off a fee or anything like that. What we did, because especially through COVID when everything became cashless, we were very aware that the staff would be impacted negatively in regards to tips because the tipping culture was, it's not a big thing here in the UK, but our staff made relatively okay money on tips. But we didn't want that to be impacted with the cashless thing. So on our card machine, most card machines, you can implement it, not on these like sum up ones or anything like that, but like a proper PDQ machine, as you call it. You can implement something where it will ask the customer if they want to add a tip, similar to when you're in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we ensured that was a thing. So the customer had to physically select yes or no if they wanted to add the tip.
As an encouragement, right?
It was almost just to remind them that is still a thing. Like, okay, we're in a more cashless society right now. We still did always take cash, but most people just stopped paying cash. Yes, we're in cashless society, but the staff will still accept tips. And whenever I go to any service appointment, I always tip. And the way they look at you these days, because people don't tip anymore, I think it's absolutely crazy. When I used to go for laser hair removal, every time I would tip, the girl was just about in tears. She's like, nobody's ever done that for me. I'm like, what? I think it's crazy. You're spending one-on-one time. We're also fast to tip in a restaurant. Let me ask you this question. In a restaurant, does a waiter spend any amount of time with you? No. You're lucky if that waiter spends a total...
Say you're in for an hour.
If say you're in for an hour, 3 to 5 minutes. Maximum.
Yeah, and that's only for an hour.
That's them seating you, taking your order, bringing you your order, and taking payment. Say 5 minutes. When you come in for a set of nails that could take, say, 2 hours, depending that person is one-on-one with you for that entire 2 hours. There can be an emotional drain on that person. You hear a lot of really sad things. People offload on you. They sat with you for that full entire time. You're okay to tip somebody in a restaurant 10% of the treatment value, but you won't give that same thing to that person who spent that full time with you. I think it's absolutely crazy.
It is. And people in America will probably listen to this thinking, what? Because the tipping culture over there is next level.
But it's got out of control. And the reason that tips were a thing in America is because it's service industry workers. There was no minimum wage. They earn pretty much nothing an hour.
$5.
If that, like maybe $1 at some point. So there was no minimum wage for them. They literally lived off of their tips. And that's why there was the tipping culture, which back in the day was 10%. Now it's up to like 30%, and it's gone wild. And now there is minimum wage. So it doesn't make any sense.
The last time we were there in Colorado, I remember going to a bar. It was in a big food court type place, and we were having lunch. And I went to a bar for a beer, and the girl flipped the screen around, and the choice of the tip was 20, 25, or 30%.
That's just wild.
There is an option that says no tip.
But you feel bad.
You feel bad, and so you're thinking their minimum.
But a lot of these people are now earning $17 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so what's that equivalent of? 13, 14 pounds an hour.
Yeah.
And then they're getting, every single time somebody comes for a drink, they're getting a massive.
Think about it. She just
crazy.
poured me a beer.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's not just spent 2 hours with you, one-on-one.
Wow.
So yeah, tips at Christmas time, they can be a really, really great thing.
And that's the thing. If you're a nail tech who works in a salon, that sometimes like you might want to maybe say to your boss, you know what, I'll actually work those extra days because you're maximising it for yourself. That's your take home, you know?
It's once a year.
Yeah.
Like for me, it makes complete sense to knuckle down and make that sacrifice once a year.
Yeah.
So that you have some extra pennies at the other end.
So
especially to like pay off any of your Christmas debts.
Yeah. Don't get yourself into debt for Christmas. It's
No,
not worth it.
don't. Do not do that.
So what happens the other side of Christmas?
So, other side of Christmas, you have got New Year and it starts all over again. So, what we would do in our salon is we would be off 25, 26, 27.
Yeah.
In the first years, we were only off 25, 26.
Yeah, and then we quickly realised that people who booked in for the 27th
Would cancel.
would cancel last minute.
Yeah. So, and you'd end up with a really bitty days, 27, 28, and you're like, no, let's just put this all into one.
Yeah.
So, we would open back up on the 28th. So, then we would be open 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. And it would be pretty much exactly the same again.
Back to being chock-a-block because people...
Back to being chock-a-block. So that's just 4 days. So that's not a long week or anything like that.
We used to close early-ish, both on Christmas Eve and
Christmas Eve and New
31st.
Year's Eve, we would finish at 3.
Yeah.
So it was an earlier finish. And then often what you would find on the days, you'd get loads of cancellations for like the end of the day. And obviously once we would just go early.
Yeah.
So yeah. But then after that, we would be shut like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
It depends how the weekend falls.
It depends how the weekend falls. Yeah.
Sometimes it could be up to the 5th.
Yeah.
But normally, yeah. So the staff know that they're getting a break afterwards. And then we come back and we'd normally run special offers throughout January. It was always a good
It
one.
depends. Some Januaries are really, really busy.
Yeah, it could be. I think what you have is, and this is going to bring us back around to October, what you have is people who have Christmas money, but then people who also get gift vouchers.
Oh, gift vouchers. Yes.
So let me bring you that back around to October. Right now, when you're a bit quiet.
There's 2 things you can do to bring in some revenue.
There is. And you want to start talking about them?
Okay, so number 1, open your Christmas diary and take deposits.
Okay, there's 3 things.
Okay. So open your Christmas diary and take deposits. That could ease your financial burden through October if you're quiet. And the next thing you can do is advertise that you sell gift vouchers. Maybe you don't sell gift vouchers, maybe you do. Gift vouchers are a double-edged sword. It is sweet as pie when you sell one, and it is like dog poo when they come back.
But one thing I just want to preface right there is some people forget about gift vouchers.
There is absolutely that culture where
Free money.
Free money. There is a certain percentage of gift vouchers that get forgotten about and that don't get used within the allotted time frame.
So if you think, oh, gift vouchers, that's quite a good idea. Do you want to give them some tips on how to get started with gift vouchers?
Just sell them.
Well, you need to get them printed first. That's
I would definitely recommend
copy.
Don't be using like these little like books or whatever. Get like nice printed ones so they are a nice gift for somebody to receive.
Yeah, and I would make them in such a way where you write the nominations. Is that the right word?
Yeah, so write the value on it so that it can be any value. You know, don't get them printed for £5, £10, whatever. It's going to be more expensive for you. Just have a blank space where it can be written on it the value.
Yeah. And also have a to and from type thing so that the person who's purchasing it, if it's maybe a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, something like that.
So you want your branding, you want to, you want the value, and you want from.
Yeah, you want to make sure you put the value in.
And what you want to put on the back is you want to put the date that you've sold it.
Correct, because there's an expiry date and that can be printed in the terms and conditions on the type of thing.
Yep.
These are valid for 3 months, 6 months, something like that.
You know, if you work on your own as a nail tech, it's pretty easy to keep track of. If you want to put like, voucher 1, and then you want to take a log of how much that was for and so on and so forth.
One.
If you work for yourself, in a salon, a big salon, not so easy to do. But there are other systems, maybe there's a computer system. But if you work for yourself, you could write, voucher 1, and then you have a little book, and you write voucher 1. And at the end of the day, 6 months, say your voucher's valid for 6 months, you can have a look at that 6 months later and go, oh, look at all those ones that haven't been used. Yeah. And that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be. The reason I say gift vouchers is a lot of businesses, a lot of companies do Secret Santas within their staff, and a lot of people are a loose end on what to get. And if you have a budget of say £20, £25 to get something, Gift voucher's always a good shout.
Gift voucher's great.
And if you know someone goes to that salon, that nail tech all the time, go for it. That's a great one.
Definitely. And the other thing you can do is plan for retail. That was something that we always maximised.
There you go. That's what I was leaning on to. You knew it.
That was something that we always maximised in our salon. So at Christmas time, we would start looking at different little things that we could bring in. Through the years, we've done all sorts of little things. Do you remember those little glittery nail files that we had and all sorts? And we would make up little bundles.
Yeah.
We did something in a ball one year, did we? I feel like we did. So we would make up little packages. So something that is really popular with us, actually we should probably start thinking about that, is we would do the Sugar Fairy duos, mini duos. So they in a little organza bag, a cuticle oil pen and a mini sanitizer.
If you don't know what an organza bag is, it's just like a
Little mesh bag.
Little mesh bag. You can get them on AliExpress. Super cheap.
Yeah.
And if the reason we're going on to retail just now, if you order things right now, they should be here in time.
Yeah, but also you can use that time to like start putting them together and start advertising them as well, because a lot of people do their Christmas. I mean, some people do their Christmas shopping in January sales, but a lot of people start getting prepared quite early. So yeah, talking about which, gift vouchers, I just had a flashback of like the 24th of December and just all these men would come in and buy gift vouchers. Yeah.
Last minute. Yeah.
I always loved selling a gift voucher so much, but I hated it when they came back.
God, this is like trauma for Rebecca.
It is a trauma. It really, really is.
Yeah. So little retail sets are great. And you can then kind of start to think how you're going to plan to sell these, how to advertise them, get some pictures done, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
What other sort of retail things could you do? Keezies. Cuticle oils is a great add-on come into winter because people like nails, like just hands, fingers, skin.
Yeah, so you've got things like keezies, sanitizer, cuticle oils, maybe some sort of balm or lotion. What other things that people like to put in like a salon one? It depends if they're into like lashes. We had something at nail order called
Dreamies.
Dreamy
Pops.
And Dreamy Pops. You know, it's like the sleep masks and stuff for lashes. All sorts of little things. If you look at the wholesalers as well, they'll often have retail sections for Christmas. Little tanning kits and things like that. We sold so many tanning kits.
Tanner razors.
Yeah. All sorts of things. Obviously, it depends on if you're working from a salon that offers multiple treatments or a salon that just offers nails, because you kind of want to do something that goes along the lines of what you're offering. Yeah.
So that's a great one, especially if you look at the retailers that you buy from or wholesalers. Rebecca did say there would be a retail section in there, and quite often they already have them bundled together.
Yeah, because like for instance, we're in Ellison's. They already started asking us a couple of months ago, do you guys have anything that we could put into our retail section for the Christmas period? So yeah, that was something I was always excited to see, the retail section that came through for Christmas.
Yeah. Retail definitely does and can help bolster your income without a lot of effort, but a lot of people get quite scared.
A lot of people get really scared, and we should probably do a whole episode on this. But again, if you are trying to maximize your business, you've got to speculate to accumulate. So you've got to put money out there, and a lot of people can go, well, that's money sat on the shelves. It does not cost a lot of money to get started with a retail bundle. Say an nail order mini salon starter bundle or little salon starter bundle. I can't even remember how much it is. Say about 70 quid?
No, 55 plus VAT.
Okay, so it's not a lot of money, and that is going to give you everything you need to get started.
So that, just to put in the context, that gives you a dropper bottle, a 30ml dropper bottle of your choice of cuticle oil. So you pick your favourite, whatever you think could be your favourite or your client's favourite. You get 15 pens, that's 5 different scents, 3 of each. You get a stand and a little pot. In fact, the pot, you don't get any more, do you?
We can't remember. But anyway, it's everything you need to... That's you started on your retail thing. And clients get excited about, what scents have you got and things like that.
Oh, I've just remembered. Oh, Katie told me something. And she won't mind me saying this because she is a genius with this. But yeah, retail and stuff like this. And I'll put this towards a tip at the end. But thank you for reminding me that.
Okay. But yeah, I would say we always made retail a really big part of our business, and it just helps bolster your profits.
One thing I would say about retail is it helps to also decorate your salon, your space.
Oh, 100%. That can be something that's really, really difficult, but that's a really, really good point. Yeah.
For instance, in our salon, I'm just thinking when you walked in, we had this ugly old radiator that we bought a radiator cover for, and it was equally as ugly, but it was better. But if you put like nice cuticle oil stand and different types of retail on top of it, it makes it like furniture, like you'd have at your home.
Or wax melt or
stuff like that. And people will go pick it up, especially if in the waiting area.
Yes, if it's in the waiting area and it gives them something to look at, they will pick it up.
It's like when I go to the barber shop, I never buy it now, but I always look at the gels and the waxes and think to myself, oh, would that go or would that not?
Think about this. When you are in the queue at Primark buying something, they surround you with add-ons,
Yes.
with impulse purchases. They're doing that on purpose because they know they're going to be stuck in the queue and you're going to start grabbing things. I do it. I'll grab always bobbles and face cloths.
Yeah.
Socks.
Stuff that you're going to use anyway.
You're going to use it anyway. You need it right now? Probably not. But it's because it is around you and you have nothing else to do. So you've got to kind of, as a business owner, you should be thinking about the psychology of customers.
Yeah.
You know? Definitely.
Thing is, I'd say now that when people come in for an appointment, I'd certainly do it. The first thing I do is go on my phone. You know, when you're in a Primark line, it's slightly different because your hands are normally full.
This is very, very true.
There you go. Maybe we should have just a thing straight away. No phones. The waiting area.
Yeah.
Just like TSA. No phones, no pictures. All right. So let's lead on to something else. And I'm going to bring this up from Katie. This is a great idea a great way to start a community that you can foster over the years or over the months and everything else that might really start to help you out come October time. So Katie was saying that she started an Instagram, what's the word now?
Is it a broadcast channel?
Broadcast channel. Oh, wow. Do you know more about this than I do, probably? Essentially, it's just adding customers to it or customers...
Oh, yeah. Have you not been added to a broadcast channel?
No.
Okay. It's kind of the Instagram equivalent.
Of a push notification on your phone?
Yeah, or like a Facebook group. Kind
Okay.
of. Kind of.
It's like
It's like a chat. It's just a chat.
It's just a chat.
It's just a chat.
You can broadcast things at certain points. So if Katie puts something out into it, for instance, Katie works here, but she loves the cook oil scents. And what she'll say is, I've got like 3 of these pens and 4 of these pens, and they're going to be available over the next week. And what you have is people like, oh, I'll take one of them. I'll take one of them. But all of a sudden, Mary sees Eleanor taking 2 of these pens, and she's like, well, if she's taking them, I want to.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, Katie's like backtracking. She's left the work and she's backtracking to come back in and pick up more of these cook oil pens. And that is a great way to foster retail, but also foster appointments. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
How would you use it?
What, the broadcast channel?
Yeah.
No, exactly like that. Use it like Facebook group, etc. So when you are doing offers, when times are quiet or whatever, you want to put demand on people, pop things in there. Absolutely.
It's a good one. I like that.
I think there's only certain account types that can have them though, and I don't know what that is.
Business must be.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think ours can. I don't know. It's very complicated.
I think yours is a creator account. Or something.
Oh yeah. Maybe
something
it's
like that. It's
Yeah.
probably some sort of weird meta thing.
It'll be something to do with like creator, business, individual, something.
Yeah. Okay. So I just said the word meta, and this is going to segue perfectly onto one of the last topics because we do need to think about getting out of here real soon. Meta ads. So that's Facebook and Instagram ads. Do you think that's important in times when it's quiet?
I think we talked about this. Where did we talk about this before? I can't remember.
It was on a podcast that we did with someone else.
Do I think it is worthwhile for nail technicians? Absolutely not. I do not. I think it's so oversaturated that unless you are willing to put in a lot of money and have a really good ad, no one's seeing it. No one's seeing it. I think the bigger businesses have oversaturated it. We've kind of stopped using it ourselves as well, haven't we?
We've started to fade away.
Yeah. So I would say for independent nail techs, absolutely not. No point whatsoever. Do not waste your time.
It's money specifically.
Do not waste your time and do not waste your money. Foster your own community, like what we just said. Set up a Facebook group, set up a WhatsApp chat, set up a broadcast channel. Use them, those free resources instead. If you are a bigger salon, potentially more point in it, but you really need to niche down your like who you are talking to and who you want to see it. I don't know. I just think it's oversaturated these days.
So let's talk about more advertising. What's a great way to get the word out about you or your salon?
Word of mouth. Just regular posting on Instagram, TikTok, all of the channels. But I just don't think you need to pay. I don't think you get much more exposure by paying than you do by just doing it. Being consistent. Flyers?
Yeah.
The problem with flyers is actually getting them to people. And people just put it in the bin. I watch us do it. I don't even read what comes in that post box. I just put it all in the bin.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't. I would not waste your time. It's all about digital advertising.
It's funny that someone put a flyer through our door. Just so it was a gutter guy cleans the gutters, and I called him like 4 times because we were desperate to get our gutters cleaned. He didn't pick up the phone. What's the point? What's the point, man?
He's actually got it to somebody. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But I think actually doing a refer a friend thing is probably, if you are an independent person, refer a friend is probably one of the best things that you can do, where the customer is getting a kickback and the new customer gets a kickback as well.
So like maybe a £5 discount or something?
Something like that. Definitely. I think that is probably...
Would you do it as in bring a friend on the same day? Or, see, that's okay if you've got a salon where there's multiple nail
Yeah, I
techs.
don't think it has to be like bring a friend or anything like that, but yeah.
One thing I would suggest is take advantage of free big advertising. So right now in our community close by to us, there's a couple of billboards, like massive billboards between busy roads where they open up usually around about this time, October, November, where local businesses, you have to be a local business, can advertise for free. And you get, it's one of the motion boards, the LED boards, and you can get a quick slot on that. We've done it with our academy. It's completely free. Why would you not take advantage of that?
Of course, take advantage of free opportunities when they come around.
So normally what they look for with that is some sort of big kind of digital ad, but you can do that in Canva.
Bosh that up in Canva. Everybody's a Canva expert these days.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, jump onto YouTube. You'll learn real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So take advantage of that. If you're going to do that, if you're looking for that type of thing, contact your local council or go into like Facebook groups, local Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Yeah, local Facebook groups in general are really good places to get new customers. There's always people saying, oh, well, it's good for Build a Job. I
am still an admin on our old salon's Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Just because I was helping Jen out with some things. And I see that come through all the time. Such and such salon was mentioned in like a Facebook group or something. So somebody's asked where's good to get nails on a local Facebook group and someone's tagged it. So that's always good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going back to that, you would have an Instagram. Would you have a TikTok?
If you want to.
TikTok I think is great for like day in the life or behind the scenes of a nail tech.
It is. It's not necessarily going to gain you customers. That's the only thing with TikTok. Same for us, it's not necessarily going to gain us customers, but it's still just an outlet, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
An exposure.
A creative outlet. I feel very creative when I do our TikToks.
Oh, God, don't we know it?
I just let myself go on it.
We know. We know.
If you've not seen our TikTok, just go to chris.becca.nailorder.
Is that what it is? Is it not Chris and Becca? I don't even know.
Yeah. Or Instagram, Chris and Becca. Or subscribe here on YouTube. The reason I'm doing this is because this is the way it's going to look on screen, but people who are listening to the podcast have no idea what I'm doing right now.
They can't see your hand movements.
Yeah, but thank you and drop down and give us 5 stars. Oh, I've messed that up. Okay, so all in all, October time and potentially late January, February, you are going to have some quiet times. So
yeah, don't be scared. It's going to happen every year. Write yourself a note to remind yourself, or set yourself a reminder for next year. This is normal. Everything is okay.
Or when you get your 2025 calendar, 2025. Dear God, how's it got to that already?
It's crazy.
Write things up on it. Like, October 1st. This month's going to be quiet. Make sure you book something in. Make sure you go on bloody holiday.
Yeah.
Don't go on holiday in July when it's super expensive to go everywhere. And there's
absolutely
kids
not.
everywhere.
Obviously, if you have kids, you might be a bit more restricted. But if you don't and you do have the freedom, don't go on holiday in the summer.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, take advantage of time away. And the thing is, it's baking hot here in the summer,
That's hilarious.
Do you know what? Hilarious. Our summer has been terrible this year, but our autumn, fall has been...
It's been quite warm.
We're recording this technically on Saturday the 20th, not technically, actually, on Saturday 26th of October. And yesterday, last night, after I finished work, managed to get finished just after 4, and I ran home, and I was going to say I vacuumed my lawn. I didn't. I mowed my lawn.
Good. And it was like 15 degrees?
It was all right.
It's crazy.
It was actually light.
It's the same temperature as what it was in the summer. And I am not exaggerating. Yeah. It is the same temperature as it was in July.
Yeah.
So it wasn't sunny, but it's the same temperature.
Yeah. So just, I think if you're new to nails, take these tips and roll with it, and you will be one up on most people. If you're age old, then you've been down.
Oh, they'll still be panicking every year. I know I did 10, 12 years in a row, every day.
Yeah. The funny thing is, a couple of months ago, I said to you, oh yeah, but October's going to be quiet, so that's when we can do this, and that's when we can move that in the warehouse, and that's when we can do this. What we didn't take into consideration is lots of new releases. Some of these releases didn't have...
This week's been quite quiet.
Oh, I was going to say, some of these releases don't have the ingredients in the back, so they've had to be labelled. So this one quite clearly isn't.
That was these are our bottles.
Oh, right. Okay.
These are our
sample bottles. Yeah.
Samples.
But yeah, this week has been quiet, just in general. And it's the same for everyone. So what you're going to find is right now is bigger.
Yeah, if Netflix quiet, we're quiet.
Of course. Just around the
And I still have to talk myself off a ledge. This is going to be forever. Forever talking myself off a ledge.
Forever. Okay, so we hope that this podcast helps, guys. We are going to have to wrap this one a little bit earlier this week because we have got so much work to crack on with. So thank you for joining us. Do you want to get us out of here?
If you enjoyed today's podcast, make sure you give us a thumbs up on YouTube and be sure to subscribe when we release our next episode.
Thanks, guys.